Coming up on This Week in Trek, we devote our attention to Star Trek V. All this and more on TWIT. Oh, Star Trek V. You are probably the movie I've seen the most in the original series franchise. And that hurts me a little bit, but I at least can explain why. So Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, is universally agreed on as being the worst of the original movies. The first movie some people thought was boring, but there's at least disagreement on that one. It was pure sci-fi in like a 2001 Space Odyssey kind of way. 2, everyone agrees was great. 3, some people argue about, but the worst part about it is really that it was the follow-up to 2. 4, it's a good movie. 6, great send-off. 5, the main appeal is that it's riffable. And that's probably why I've seen it the most. I've actually been on site for people doing live riffings at bars multiple times. And another one is that, as I've mentioned before, Red Letter Media is a group that does some great stuff with Star Trek. They have done an online riff score for this movie. And it's a great one because they know so much about Star Trek that they can point out all the stupid points as well as like all the weird continuity and money saving and crazy set stuff. This is the first movie that was being filmed simultaneously with The Next Generation out there. And there was a lot of things that they did to kind of cut corners and use sets from Next Gen to make up for the fact that they're paying the actors way more than they had been previously, and that nothing else was really being spent money on. I don't know if I'd say it's the worst Star Trek movie of all time, but it's up there. It is definitely the most riffable movie. The only question is, is it worse truly than Nemesis or Insurrection? Mainly, Star Trek V is so bad at points it's good, and it's funny as a result. It's not serious, and it's, in fact, the reason why people sometimes are dubious about Star Trek movies. Nemesis is forgettable. Insurrection is forgettable. Nemesis is deeply flawed, but with good structure behind it. 5 is just a bad movie. If MST3K could have done a Star Trek specific episode or movie, this would be the one that they would have used. Like I said, I would go check out Red Letter Media's. And if you're ever looking for just a fun one to riff on in front of people, this is your best option. It's a deeply flawed movie in almost all regards. And I kind of wanted to talk about that just because it was so weird. So let's move on to news. Unfortunately, Season 2 has taken me a bit longer to watch than I was hoping. Season 1 took me a long time to watch. It was really just by powering through. And unfortunately, I just had a lot of work on the side that's sort of taken up my time and not work from home kind of work. So not quite as far along as I'd like to be. Unfortunately, I'm just barely at the beginning. Season 2 is actually where I've seen a lot more episodes. So I'm kind of not... I'm flying through those ones, but I'm still watching them all for the sake of it. But it's coming along. I apologize that it's not done. I would have liked to have each week be a new season, but it's just not happening that way, and I figured I'd at least get a video out for something I could talk about. But yeah, so that's where we're at right now. Nothing new on the Captain Worf front. Sadly, I wish I did hear more. I also wish I would hear more about any potential Star Trek future series in the current run of movies. But we take what we can get. Hopefully next week we'll be back with a longer video. I apologize that we've been having some gaps. A lot of traveling, a lot of holidays, a lot of work. But we should be back on track soon, and I thank you guys for your patience. Anyway, On that note, have a good one, and I will see you next time.